there are some debates when it comes to copywriting and design, because I do believe that a lot of people still kind of struggle when it comes to content and design and copywriting. Okay, now when it comes to long copy or short copy for Facebook advertising, this is kind of like an ever green debate that is happening around. There will be different school of thought. There would be some people who prefers long copywriting. Some like me would prefer short copywriting because, in my opinion, the way I look at this is this. I'm not selling on Facebook. What I'm doing here when I run ads, my sole purpose is to capture people's intention or attention, at least attention and intention. And with that right intent, if I'm able to send the right message using the creative and a very short and crisp, primary text, I should be able to get the right people to go to the next stage. Because I truly believe selling happens off Facebook, not on Facebook. Even if you are selling via Messenger also, it is still off the Facebook ad. You are not selling on the advertisement itself. So in my opinion, you want to make sure that your advertisement does the job in terms of delivering the message to really get what you want them to do. So the key message that I always focus on is, what is in for me? What do you want me to do? So clearly expressing the key benefit that you are bringing to the table is the first thing. And of course, you must be very clearly state what you want them to do. So that's my opinion. However, there are some friends. In fact, I work with a lot of digital agencies, as my coaching clients, and some of them actually prefer long copy, which we also see some interesting, good results coming from the long copy, which means like long copy, for them, right? In fact, I agree as well. Long copy actually qualifies your audience, because for those people who don't even bother to really click and read, eventually you don't want them to come over. However, you also miss certain people who are not patient. Like people who are impatient like me, are probably just pass. However, I'm not saying that long copy is not good, but you want to make sure that the first 2 lines at least, okay, is really to the point. So it's either to the point to get people to click to see more, to read, or it's to the point to get people to understand what you want them to do. And eventually, even they don't read the whole copy, they will still make decision to click over if they want to. And on the other hand, if they want to click and read more, and eventually, that long copy is supposed to nurture your audience moving forward. However, one thing I noticed, I'm not sure you do, is Facebook is testing a lot of new ad placement nowadays. Now, definitely one thing that is coming up is the Reels, Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels advertisement placement, which it's like a Reels. Reels is like the vertical format of videos, right? It's gonna happen. It's gonna appear on the top right, which is a button that people can see, and usually it signifies the image itself. So from there, you are not able to really communicate all the key messages that you have, like your long copy and all that. So in that situation, I believe the visual itself will play a very important role, if you agree with me. Because if your visual if it's only visual, which is the single image appearing on the advertisement, long copy or whatnot, it doesn't matter anymore. It's irrelevant, because people only look at the image. If it attracts them, then they will take action. If it doesn't, then of course not. In fact, it's not just the Facebook Reels or Instagram Reels. I also noticed Facebook ads, like, I think this happens in the watch page right now. I saw it the other day. And it's definitely happening in Instagram newsfeed as well, Instagram feed, where when you scroll, instead of like a full-fledged advertisement that looks like a post with the word sponsored at the bottom, they have new ad placement where it's like the scrollable. So in between image or in between videos, there will be like 2 to 3 ads. It's scrollable, which you can actually scroll to the right and see what are the other ads of remaining. I actually took action and took a look at all these things, and it's quite interesting if you ask me. So these are also placements that only signifies that particular image. So if your image doesn't really tell the story, or it gets truncated, then you miss the point. So moving forward, if you ask me, long copy or short copy is really depending on your preferences. But one thing I want to probably share with you is, if you have long copy, And if you really want your long copy to do the job, to actually qualify your audience and all that, right, I would suggest that you probably should consider using only fit kind of advertising, which you want to control it doesn't appear on other places, because eventually, as Facebook tests or Instagram tests different placements, it might kind of like turn your ad into something that is not relevant in terms of that. When it comes to that kind of placement, it doesn't work at all. So in terms of long copy or short copy, I guess still it's a personal preference. It's up to you. I'm not saying that which one is doing good or bad, but essentially, I think moving forward, it is more on you got to really know your strategy and you got to really place your ad at the right place.